Good afternoon. My name is Renee Rahutsky. I am the Leadership Development Consultant for the Central East Regional Group, SURGE, which is sponsoring this workshop. This is the Powerful Pathways to Membership workshop for mid-sized congregations. Following this, there'll be another one for larger congregations. I'd like to introduce our presenters this morning. First, there's the Reverend Ken Belden, who serves the Wellsprings congregation. I also have the Reverend Suzanne Marsh, who serves at the Unitarian Church of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and Bart Carpenter, who's the membership guru also at the church in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And with that, I'll let them take it away.
Thank you, Renee. It's a pleasure to be here. Good afternoon. Good to see you all. Before I get into the how, before we get into the what of our membership cultivation process, I'd like to focus at the outset with some deeper questions, a little bit more intangible questions, the questions of why and for whom. Some of you might know a little bit about Wellsprings. We were founded with some real rich generosity, some wonderful financial support from the UUA and from the Mainline Unitarian Church in Devon, Pennsylvania, and also from the Joseph Priestley District. And they gave us what turned out to be about almost $700,000 to start Wellsprings because they wanted us to be able to grow Unitarian Universalism. Starting from that place, we knew they were trusting us with their resources, with their abundance, because they did not have a vision of Unitarian Universalism that was an already baked pie, that we would somehow just be appealing to folks who were Unitarian Universalist already. We had a dream and a vision that, in fact, we could bake a larger cake, that there were people out there who were not Unitarian Universalist already. And so from the very outset, the very genesis of who Wellsprings was going to be and why we were going to exist, we had a vision of a word that's used probably too often, but it's still relevant: seeker sensitivity. We had a vision of a congregation in which people could come to a Unitarian Universalist community of faith without necessarily knowing anything about who our tradition was. We internalized this sense of seeker sensitivity right at the very outset of how we started, and it shows in who we are. If you'll switch to the next slide there. We started in the fall of 2005 with 12 committed people. We launched worship in January 2007 with those same 12 committed and a number of other people who were interested. And in the 4+ years since we have been worshiping together, we are now, I believe it says, adult membership of 188 people. There has been no Unitarian Universalist new congregation founded in the last 25 years or so that started with fewer than 50 people that has grown to more than 200 adults in membership. We are about to do that. We believe that what we are doing, largely because we concentrate so intentionally on the membership cultivation process, that has led to our growth. You'll see the words at the bottom of the page there: a community charged full with the charge of the soul. We snaked that. We stole that right from Walt Whitman. That's right from Leaves of Grass. That's our mission. It's not our mission statement. It's our mission. Everything that we do at Wellsprings is to be an expression of a community that aspires to be charged full with the charge of the soul. Now, alongside of that is a more specific statement of our values and beliefs, and you can check that out on our website if you want to take a look, wellspringsuu.org, if you're so interested. Related to what we're talking here today, a community charged full with the charge of the soul, we seek to align that to membership practices that allow people to know the currents, the open currents by which they can become a part of our community. We want that to be clear. We want it to be easy. We want it to be simple for people when they come to Wellspring. So if you'd show the next one. At Wellsprings, we actually do not have any creature called the membership committee. It would be redundant. Instead, we have an assimilation system, an integration system, so that everyone who comes to Wellsprings knows what the next steps are if they wish to take those next steps. We believe that with that kind of clarity from the outset, that we don't have to be in a position in which we have to tug or pull people into our common congregational life, but that because we are opening the process up to them, they will know what the next steps are as they are so motivated to take them. The next words you see there, it's kind of new business speak. You know, I've adopted an entrepreneurial model of doing worship that absolutely nothing in seminary trained me for. It's been entirely on-the-job training. And so sometimes I use this small business speak, but we talk about integration across platforms, that we have a horizontal relationship between our ministry teams and amongst our ministry teams. Let's take a look at that in the opposite. There is a tendency in institutional and in organizational life to have separate teams, separate committees, siloize themselves. They become self-contained. In a sense, they become entirely vertical. The way that we do membership cultivation at Wellsprings is that we know that membership cultivation is throughout, shot throughout, is a systemic commitment. And so when we talk about cultivating people for membership, if they wish to take those steps, it involves our music on Sunday mornings, it involves our worship on Sunday mornings, it involves our hospitality team, how we equip greeters, it involves our small group systems, it involves how we do Youth Spirit, which is our program for our kids' spiritual development. So as we go through the rest of this program here today, really what I hope you will listen to in what both of us are saying is the words behind the music. So often it's so easy to get focused on tactics. I actually believe that tactics come and tactics go, particularly in relationship to membership cultivation and inviting people into spiritual community. What I do believe is very important is that any congregation, regardless of its size, knows the why that implies the how, knows the who that then leads people in the congregation to practice the what of how people are invited in. So I'd invite you to focus not so much on the tactics, but the spirit that animates why in the first place we welcome people into our community.